I like challenges.
1, 2, 3.
Well, this is
The one session that we had, it really helped me.
All technicians have pride in their work, but to have them actually care about how the customer feels about them, that's a whole nother level.
When a customer comes in our store to sell a car, they're in and out in 5-10 minutes. They come in, sign paperwork, get a smile, get a nice tour, and they're gone.
30 days in a coma, you lose all of your muscle mass.
Yo, if you're just listening, you missed the trailer to More Than Cars Episode 2 launching tomorrow, October 18th. But today's October 17th. We have to talk about the strike and Hawaii and Netflix. I didn't think about it, but Netflix is quite appropriate. Netflix is quite appropriate.
Super appropriate for us right now.
Look, that's
Netflix,
the big
if
news
you're
for
watching,
us.
watch the whole show.
Yeah.
Hashtag Netflix. Should I say Netflix again? We'll put it in the transcript.
Netflix, writer's strike, you know, whatever it is.
All the keywords.
all the keywords. So tomorrow on Wednesday, depending on where you're hearing the show, but tomorrow, Wednesday, October 18th at what time, Kyle?
1 o'clock Eastern.
1 p.m.
10 o'clock
Eastern.
on the alternate coast on the West Coast.
We are releasing the next episode, episode 2. It's been a long time coming of the More Than Cars docu-series. Episode 1 was received so well, and we've been baking and cooking and marinating episode 2 at Beaver Toyota in Cumming, Georgia. Kyle, this one was so much fun. We did a lot of things just that we worked in that we maybe in some ways had never done before, like changing oil.
Well, that's what I love about this episode. We went in and just really got dirty, got our hands dirty, started to understand like the dynamics of every single part. You know, if you know, there are so many people inside and outside of the industry that just don't even recognize some of the micro things or some of the ways that things get done on a daily basis. And so we're just trying to highlight some of those alongside the people, right? It's these little micro things that you didn't recognize were happening, and the way that people are interacting with their career paths and with the people around them that I think is so unique. Like back with episode 1 with Peggy, it's like, oh, there's a person
that pulls the
when
plastic.
The car comes in that pulls the plastic and measures off everything to make sure when I get my new car, it's pristine.
Everything
because the
works.
Manufacturer doesn't deliver it that way. Wild.
They definitely do not. If you don't know what the show is, it's a TV-style docuseries. It's about 24 minutes with commercials and all that good stuff. But where Kyle and I go to dealerships around the country telling the inspiring stories of the people inside dealership. There's enough negative stigma. There's enough drama on television and things where people focus on the bad stuff. We happen to believe that people want to hear about the good stuff and have a lot of fun along the way and enjoy a great soundtrack and really lean into the industry they're a part of and maybe learn to love it in a new way. So if you're at a store, if you're an industry partner, or if you just love really well shot, fun docuseries about people in different cities, go to, you could say go to morethancars.tv where you could see episode 1. We're redoing the site right now to make sure it's ready for 2. Or if you want to be a part of the live stream, which would be really awesome to have you there, you can just go to LinkedIn, go to Asodu's page, click on events, and then you can just attend that meeting. And Kyle and I will be there. The Asodu crew is going to be there. We're going to have lots of people in the chat. And last time it was so much fun to watch it together and whoop it up. So get your store on there. And of course, it helps the series, the more people who are on the live stream and watch it, because we have this little dream. Actually, it's not a dream. It's going to be a reality where little things you like Amazon Prime or Apple TV are going to carry More Than Cars. And then the rest of the world will see why we're making so much noise over here.
There you go. Well, you know what? Actually, real quick, just put a pin in this. We need to put together a Spotify More Than Cars playlist.
Oh,
so
because those
that's our promise. That's my promise to you to make sure that happens, because like Paul said, the soundtrack is
yes. Actually, if you search Asodu on Spotify, we already have a playlist up, which is our Troublemaker Swagger playlist, and we need to add this to that. So you can be bumping that way. Also want to thank our friends at VinQ for helping us make episode 2. Such a great partner of the dealership that we're in, such a great partner and friends to us. And we can't do this without the dollars. Right? So it's not just the dollars though. It's also the shared heart for the industry and then actually building tools that help everyone operationally be better. Because we can feel good, but if we can't operate better, then we no longer have a business. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Speaking of no longer having a business. Whoa. We had to come in hard on the segues today. Yesterday.
Yeah, because yesterday was tough.
It was. So a new player has stepped out of the locker room onto the field in the ongoing UAW strike negotiations yesterday as Bill Ford, the legend, executive chair of Ford Motor Company, publicly urged UAW leaders to end their now month-long strike. Bill Ford has participated, get this, in every single union negotiation since 1982. That's before a lot of you were born, and said that he is the most, actually it's before Kyle was born, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And he is the most, he said, I am the most pro-union leader in the industry. He just came out all like blazing.
He was like, hold on. Put the gloves on.
Did. It's like
they're here we go.
They're like, send out the Kraken. So here it comes. Addressing the press from Ford's historic Rouge Complex in Dearborn, Michigan, Bill Ford said, choosing the right path is not just about Ford's future and our ability to compete. This is about the future of the American automobile industry. Get this. He says Toyota, Honda, Tesla, and others are loving this strike because they know the longer it goes on, the better it is for them. They will win, and all of us will lose. Now, you know, UAW President Shawn Fain wasn't quiet after such a speech. He said Bill Ford knows exactly how to settle this strike. He should call up Jim Farley, tell him to stop playing games and get a deal done. It's not the UAW, get this, it's not the UAW and Ford against foreign automakers. It's auto workers everywhere against corporate greed. If Ford wants to be an all-American auto company, they can pay all-American wages and benefits. Workers at Tesla, Toyota, Honda, and others are not the enemy. They are the UAW members of the future. And he said this, I think, at the same time while wearing a t-shirt that said, not tax the rich, eat the rich.
Do we have a no comment button?
It's like Bill Ford steps onto the field, and then like Shawn Fain's looking up at Bill Ford, and then he eats one of those like mushrooms from Mario Brothers, and is like firepower,
right? And just comes in and just crushes. So, I mean, the never-ending saga at this point. We've heard a couple of just rumblings that Ford is really saying that they've reached the end, and that in order to ensure long-term profitability and sustainability of the company, that they have to finalize this agreement. And Bill Ford saying, "Hey, look, recognize that this isn't just about us. Everybody else is about to start eating our lunch while this strike goes on. You know, we're going to start. I'm interested to see what the October numbers for day supply come out as we head into November, because I'm sure as companies like Cox Automotive and those report, we'll start to see the dropping day supply, and you're starting to see even the market respond in alternate articles. You know, I'm looking at CNN and I'm looking at Bloomberg, and people are saying, if you want these makes and models, get it now, because it may not be available. And so you're actually going to see consumer demand increase in the short term.
Mm-hmm.
because of fear of not being able to purchase in the winter months. And so watch out for like this what was a slow and steady decline, and that kind of like 4 to 5 month week cliff that I was talking about start to accelerate. And I think this is what Bill Ford is pointing to, and the UAW is hoping accelerates the negotiation pattern for Ford. So I think at this point, especially with this particular relationship, we haven't seen much from GM and Stellantis, but with this particular relationship and negotiation, it's going to be one of those, like, you know, chicken or the egg, who comes first, who, you know,
well, let's remember too that Ford has the most generous offer on the table currently.
Right.
So they have by far the most generous offer. According to the Automotive News article that we were talking about, Patrick Anderson, CEO of Anderson Economic Group, said the industry was nearing a point of no return. To quote him, he said, if this 5-year strike or 5-week-old strike wasn't resolved quickly, we are on the cusp of permanent loss of production and suppliers are at risk of bankruptcy.
Golly.
Already cost the industry $5.5 billion.
There it is. That's what they said. That's I mean, it's like on the nose for what the economist said we're coming.
They kind of know what's going on. So, let's just say, speaking of good news, because that's not good news.
Let's go that way.
We were going to talk about a Toyota plant fire. I was like, I can't do it. I can't put it in the story. So we're going to talk about some good news coming out of the beautiful state of Hawaii.
Segue.
Couldn't do it. Needed some bright sunshine. Hawaii has seen a significant reduction in catalytic converter thefts after implementing a law that now regulates their resale. A combination of legislation and practical implementation has led, surprisingly, to a stark drop in thefts over last year. So, these catalytic converters, we've talked about this a bunch. It costs you can get up to $1,500 in a scrapyard, commonly stolen in states. It's become a big problem. And now Hawaii's new law requires anyone selling a catalytic converter to present a photo ID and sign a declaration that the part wasn't stolen. Mark Yamachui, the owner of Yama's Auto Care in Hawaii, commented on the significant decline in thefts following the implementation. He said, I maybe replaced a couple catalytic converters this year. Before, I would do 2 or 3 a month. So thefts have actually dropped from over 1,600 in 2022 to just 119.
Isn't that wild?
Funny how the rule of law works.
It's not that much. It was just like a very simple.
But they also increased the penalty to be a Class C felony.
Right. Yeah.
So there's that too.
It's on. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like not a night in jail anymore or a fine.
Right.
It's like,
exactly. It's not a fine or a night in jail. It's like a full felony. And, this is I love that type of regulation is going in.
Yeah.
Because what I see there is it really protects consumers, it really protects business owners, it really protects it focuses on all levels of the the ecosystem of this resale pattern. And so kudos to Hawaii.
I like it's good news.
Kudos to Hawaii. Super good news.
Very good news. Speaking of, I don't know if this is super good news, but speaking of fun news.
Segue.
Good news is fun news.
Speaking of
usually.
Netflix. Did we say Netflix? Yeah. Following in the footsteps of entertainment giants like Disney, Netflix is set to launch Netflix House locations by 2025. These venues will offer merchandise, food, and activities inspired by its content, aiming to deepen fan immersion in all of the Netflix universe. Basically, what they want to do is promote both new content that primarily generates revenue, similar to strategies employed by Disney and other studios. The goal is essentially to give people that are extreme Netflix fans or just innocent bystanders the opportunity I'll get to that part. The opportunity to experience what may be in a Netflix show, whether it's a Netflix original or a very like a seasoned show, and get into the environment. And so Josh Simon, Netflix VP of Consumer Products, said, "We've seen how much fans love to immerse themselves in the world of our movies and TV shows. And we've been thinking a lot about how to take that to the next level." Talks about they've already opened little pop-up shops, especially around food, around shows like Is It Cake, right? People want to experience the kind of real life feel of what would it be like to kind of be in this environment where we're doing the Is It Cake thing.
Ooh, that sounds great.
Since 2020, they've launched over 40 pop-up locations, including ticket experiences like the Queen's Ball, a Bridgerton experience. The houses will have rotating installments, ticket experiences, themed food and beverages, and even
here we go.
This is I'm like, oh boy, potential activities like a Squid Game obstacle course. I just hope they don't make it really, really like the show. You know what I'm saying? Not too good. More like the Mr. Beast version. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, probably even less intense than the Mr. Beast version. We had Kyle, you and I were having a conversation with a very good friend of ours, CMO of Group One, and she has a lot of retail experience in companies like Nike and Doc Martens and Sorel. And I can't remember who said it, but she said one I think it might have been a Nike brand. I don't know, but they came in. They said
Nike head of retail. Nike
head of retail. He said retail is not dead. Undifferentiated retail is dead. And like you and I just sat back for a second. This reminds me of that, right? The television, the whole ecosystem, and people wanting to be involved and be. not dead. Going somewhere and being a part and participating, not dead. But if it's undifferentiated, it's dead. And
Hello,
this is-
Taylor Swift Eras Tour.
Oh my
right?
gosh. Yes. Have you ever seen a movie theater so lit up on fire?
Exactly.
I mean, I just saw videos. I didn't go. Just saying.
Right, but this is where I think, especially like this is a direct tie to auto. This is a direct tie to retail. Is I don't care what business you're in right now. Like this is TV business saying experiential is important to our profitability, experience, sustainability. Like thinking about the type of experience that someone has when they encounter your brand, whether in the digital or the physical, is of utmost importance. And actually, we're arguing, and I think the culture is arguing, that we crave it. We desire to have these experiences. It's just that when it's undifferentiated, we retract.
And there's all this talk about CDPs and harvesting the data that you already have, paying attention to the customers you already have, understanding what makes them tick, understanding what they like. We talked to Jesse Cole. What if you made your sales experience longer and people wanted it to be even longer because it was so good? We are definitely entering this era where the intentionality behind connecting, right? We're saying experience, we're saying brand, but really what it means is you're connecting with something in someone that makes them stay to you. Guess what? It's really nice when they never enter the top of that sales funnel anymore, because they just decide to stay at the bottom of your, you know what I mean?
In the flywheel. They just stay in the flywheel.
Well, look, we hope you have an amazing Tuesday. Lots of stuff going on in this industry, best industry in the world. We hope you join us for the premiere of More Than Cars Episode 2. Go to LinkedIn, search Asodu, click on events.